Hi, and welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. I'm Ruben, and today we're diving deep into the 8th and possibly final installment of the Mission Impossible franchise, The Final Reckoning. So buckle up, because this review is going to be as action-packed as Ethan Hunt's latest mission. Getting straight into the directing and the cinematic vision of this film, Christopher McQuarrie returns to helm this epic conclusion, bringing his signature blend of intricate storytelling and jaw-dropping action sequences. His collaboration with Tom Cruise has been the backbone of this franchise evolution for a while now, and in The Final Reckoning, their synergy reaches new heights. Well, not new heights, just the heights we've been to. We know what to expect with this team. McQuarrie's direction ensures that every scene, from the quietest moments to the loudest explosions, serves the story and the characters. There are a team now that I just couldn't imagine anyone else taking the helm for this franchise. Such is the synergy now that as a watcher, you know what to expect. This may be a little bit of a downer then, because you know what to expect. The audience is kind of trained like monkeys to expect a bigger and crazier stunt with each film. But when your last film was exceptional, how do you top that? Well, mostly you don't. So it is a wild ride, but temper your expectations somewhat. Let's talk about the action sequences in the air and the ocean, all around the world. If you've seen the trailer for the latest film, you'll know what you're in for. Tom Cruise, at 62, continues to defy age and gravity. One of the most talked about stunts in this movie was Cruise piloting a biplane upside down, which we see in the trailer, and in the movie it's even bigger than that. It's longer, there's understanding as to why he's doing that. But this is what I love about Tom Cruise movies. He's willing to do exceptionally crazy things for himself, for us. He understands the assignment and then over-delivers on that assignment. It's a feat that required him to train extensively to handle the lack of oxygen at high speeds. Another standout sequence is Ethan Hunt diving into a submerged submarine, battling both the elements and the AI antagonist known as the Entity. These scenes are not just visually stunning, but also serve to heighten the stakes and immerse the audience entirely, and you do feel that once again, but with a caveat of expectation once again. Let's talk about the cast, the characters, and their dynamics. Cruise delivers a performance that encapsulates the essence of Ethan Hunt: determined, resourceful, and relentless. His commitment to performing his stunts add authenticity to the character's perilous journey, and we see that again on display here in full gloriousness. Then we have Hayley Atwell as Grace. We saw her in the last film, and she had great chemistry with Tom Cruise in that one as well. Atwell brings depth to Grace, who evolves from a skilled thief to a vital member of the Hunt's team. Her chemistry with Cruise was fresh, and it was needed because we had a character that was missing. Simon Pegg as Benji Dunn. Pegg provides comic relief and emotional depth to a character that I think most of us can say that we absolutely love his portrayal of Benji, and he continues to resonate with us in this film, especially given his personal journey, crediting this franchise for helping him overcoming depression and alcoholism, which is awesome. Ving Rhames as Luther Stickwell. Rhames is the only character that we've had join Cruise throughout this series. He's the one that's been there. He's kind of the backbone with Tom Cruise, and there's an emotional punch for his character, which I think adds weight to this particular story. Thematic depth, AI, and human agency. The Final Reckoning delves into contemporary themes, particularly the rise of artificial intelligence and its implications. The Entity represents AI's uncontrollable nature, challenging Hunt and his team to confront physical obstacles and ethical dilemmas. This thematic exploration adds a cerebral layer to the high-octane action that we get within this movie, and we don't need much more than that for a Mission movie. Mission has gone away from the hard-hitting sort of noir vibes to something that is akin to a little bit Bond, a little bit Jason Bourne, a little bit Jackie Chan for those stunt works, and even a little bit Fast and Furious, although far more grounded, but in a fantastic way. The theme that Ethan has toyed with throughout this franchise is the weight of life. It's about how one life is worth risking millions of lives for. The ethical dilemmas Ethan is forced to confront with each mission are often the heart of this movie, and with the loss of key characters from the previous film like Ferguson, Ethan faces that same reality with the caveat that he cannot protect his team the whole time, especially at the cost of the world. This is the balancing that this film has to do, particularly this installment. So yes, the action is great, and of course Tom Cruise doing his thing is awesome. But it's the themes and characters that make us care about the action within these movies. And this mission has this in spades. Let me get to the musical score and sound design, because you can't talk about a mission film without talking about the score, those themes that we know so well. Composers Max and Alfie take over from Lorne and deliver a score that complements the film's intensity and emotional beats. Their compositions enhance the tension during action sequences and underscore the film's more introspective moments. Honestly, it felt like Lorne was still composing this movie, which is a great nod to the continuity of the franchise and says a lot about the talent of these two composers, that they could incorporate some of their own creative juices into a franchise beloved as this, but still keep the thematic themes intact within those key elements that we need. And I think a lot of people really enjoy the globe-trotting that we get, the global locations and the cinematography that lend themselves to adventure. This film is filmed across diverse locations, including the UK, Malta, South Africa, and Norway. The film's cinematography captures the grandeur and peril of Ethan Hunt's mission. The varied landscape not only provides stunning backdrops, but also serves as integral elements of the narrative. And you couldn't have a mission without all that globe-trotting. As always, every frame looks stunning, and the creative action is shown wonderfully through clever editing. As the 8th installment, The Final Reckoning pays homage to its predecessors, while charting a somewhat new territory. It weaves in elements from previous films, characters, storyline elements, offering satisfying conclusions to long-standing character arcs and plot threads. The film represents the franchise's ability to evolve and remain relevant over nearly 3 decades, which is crazy to think about. It's a great final film, but not my favorite of the franchise. It didn't quite reach the heights of a few of the previous installments for me, and although there was some surprising emotional heft, I was expecting more. Maybe it's because I've recently gone through the entire series on Patreon with Movies and Munchies. The entire series is fresh in my mind, so this movie has to compare to all of those. It has to compare to them, wrap up all the storylines, as well as make a great story. And this is a really tight balancing act, which is mostly achieved. Mostly. My final verdict is this. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is a masterclass in action filmmaking, combines heart-stopping stunts, compelling character development, and thought-provoking themes to deliver a cinematic experience that is both thrilling and meaningful. Whether you're a long-time fan or new to the series, this film is a must-watch. You definitely want to see it at the cinema for the visual spectacle that it is. I give The Final Reckoning 4 out of 5 stars. Even with all those caveats, I still had a thoroughly darn good time.
I guess I was pretty horny.
How would you rank all the Mission movies? I'd love to know. Thanks for joining me on this mission, folks. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more reviews and geeky content like this. If you want to see myself and Chris from Movies and Munchies review each of these films, you can check out our Patreon. It's just starting at £1. It's called The Bearded Ones. You can check the link in the description. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.